Morning. This is Mark Vruno, editor-in-chief of the Cannata Report, and I'm here with Frank. You've got labels on your mind today.
Yes, that is, and we've got the right person to talk about it. Frank and I have known each other for a long time.
Good morning, Frank. Thank you, and good morning, everyone. It's a pleasure to chat with you. I always like catching up, Frank.
What we're going to talk about is a product now that Konica Minolta that is coming out with. That was, would you say it was reasonably a product like available back?
Yes, absolutely.
Perfect. I think we set the stage, which is what I wanted them to understand. Not only that you know what the hell you're talking about, but this product has been around for a while. So, Frank, give us some understanding, give for our audience what this product can do when we talk about labeling.
Absolutely. So let me ground it a second with the dealer community. So when we talk about production print, we talk about production cut sheet, toner-based engines, and over the last 19 years, the dealers have done a fantastic job moving those products into those commercial environments. Like what you said earlier, the dealers are looking to diversify. So is commercial print. Commercial print can't just survive on offset production, offset presses. They've got a client that have a need in a number of different areas, albeit whether it's digital cut sheet or it's going to be white format or at a home, packaging, label. And the biggest thing really going on in the industry right now is embellishments, adding more value to those documents. And that means a lot to commercial printers because adding value to their documents enables them to make more margin on those products. Here today, there's three things that it's right in the dealer's backyard and available to them. One is inkjet, and inkjet has a big category out there in the commercial industrial space. Anything from white format to document printing with inkjet, label, and again as well as embellishment. Second is packaging and labels. That's an incredible segment to participate in. And then, of course, the last that we kind of look at as a segment here at Konica Minolta is really the embellishment space, because it's a finishing solution that just adds value to your documents. The thing I think we want to focus on today is the label business. And so Konica Minolta has in the past had several products that we've launched in the label space. Today we have a family of label products. Specifically toner-based, and thrilled about the toner-based solution because the industry as a whole, if you look at the industry, you've got inkjet-based label presses, then you got a lot of desktop on the low end, and those desktops they vary, mostly inkjet, but there's really nothing in between. And so we brought to market a toner-based label presses that are very familiar with our dealer community. They service those engines, and they currently sell those engines in a cut sheet environment. To simplify it, what we did is we put winders and unwinders on these machines. We changed up the software, and we're enabled to run these rolls through the system, producing phenomenal labels of all sorts, all kinds. We've got a low-end product, and we've launched sort of a high-end product in the industrial space that includes white, so clients could go out there and run a number of different applications. So I state this and why it's so the dealer organization is already prepared to service these systems. They've got the infrastructure in terms of pre and post-sales support. It's really around the go-to-market, the salespeople they have today. When they're out there selling a cut sheet solution, they've got to ask a few other questions to that commercial environment in terms of what you're doing with, are you doing any label work? Yes or no? Are you outsourcing? Yes or no? If you're outsourcing it, how much do you outsource? And that's the big magic question. If you're outsourcing, what can we do to bring it in-house? And how can we simplify it? So it's just a couple of more discovery questions that really the dealer needs to enable themselves with to go in and open up this whole other opportunity for labels. It's a competitive market, but where we position these products, we're sort of in a space of our own. And I couldn't think of a better opportunity. And we talked about wide format in the past and so on, but I couldn't think of a better opportunity than what we have with labels today.
Yeah, that to me is so amazing that you had a product or have a product and you've been selling a product for production print, as you say, toner based, but the engine is the same. So it shouldn't be a major job for a dealer who's been selling production print to get into selling labels.
Not at all. Not with our portfolio. So so today, when you look at this segment of the marketplace, you're going to go to a commercial printer and they're like, yeah, I've got some labels I outsource, from another provider. But tell me a little bit about your label products. It's like, well, how much is it? Well, we outsource $300,000 a month, $350,000 a month, whatever the case may be. And that's a number I just took off the top of my head. What we can do with our devices, unlike inkjet, an inkjet label press needs to be primed every day, needs to run every day in order to optimize. So it's going to require some sort of dedicated support. Our label solutions, because it's toner based, I don't need to tell the audience about toner technology. Our industry is the best at it. Really, what it comes down to is you can put one of our solutions in-house, tell that commercial provider, you got $350,000 worth of label work that you're sending out. You bring it in, you turn our press on like you would a copier, MFP device, simple, right? You run your production, you fulfill your $350,000 application, and you turn it off and you wait till the following week. Or, 2 weeks later, you turn it back on and you're in production again. So we try to simplify that for the commercial printer that's looking to diversify and invest. That's first and foremost. Number two, inkjet technology will find it difficult to do those start stops like we do. The third part is operating it. You don't need a dedicated operator. Once you go through some of the training around installing the rolls and finishing on a separate finishing device, you're in the label business. And Frank, what's interesting is we've seen case after case after case, commercial printers bringing that in-house to satisfy their outsourcing. And lo and behold, we hear 6 months later, they put somebody on the telephone outsourcing, building a label business exclusively. So we go back to these companies, and now you look at their storefront, and they're a label provider, pure and simple, because of the technology that they were able to invest in. So I know I'm simplifying it, but the product is available for our dealers to drive. But unlike sort of office technology space, our service bar and our pro sales bar is benchmarked much higher than the industrial space. Service response times are typically in days, 3 to 5 days to get a service representative there from other manufacturers who play in the label space exclusively. So if we apply some of those baseline service metrics in place in the industrial space, we lock out the competition in terms of post-sale serviceability, uptime, and given those commercial environments, what they're looking for in terms of more profitability.